Good morning. It is 6:56 a.m. on Monday, July 17th, 2017. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So Game of Thrones is back. Season 7 premiere last night. I'm not going to do just like a recap of this because if you're interested in my thoughts on Game of Thrones, then you should listen to the Beyond the Wall podcast from Specfic Media, where I talk all about Game of Thrones with some of my best buds, and that's going to be on Thursdays. I'm excited nonetheless for the show to be back. Yesterday, most of the day, I felt kind of vaguely headachy and inclined towards a little bit of self-pity because I felt a little bit like I was hungover despite having only a single glass of red wine the night before. So that was irritating. And so the idea of having a kind of a little bit of a headache, a little bit of a hangover-y feeling while feeling simultaneously like that's monstrously unfair. So it was to the point where, once again, that impulse to not go anywhere or do anything reared its ugly head with going to my musical improv class last night, which, it's like, and when it's a class that I've been going to, that's something that, I typically don't have as much trouble, rousting myself to do something like that. But just I think because I wasn't feeling super great, that was part of what made me even have the thought. But what I found, as I always do in these cases, or not maybe not always, but most of the time, is that once I actually just kind of said, "Nope, we're doing this. Let's get ready. Let's go." I was fine. In fact, it's a good class. I like that class. I want to take that class. So it's just a lesson that I'm continually having to relearn because there's an element where I have to, like, the opponent in this argument is my own brain, which has some hard wiring in it. Or I don't know about hard wiring, but certainly some persistent wiring, where it just sort of wants me to say, it's nice. It's nice here. It's easier here to just stay. Stay here. Don't go to that thing. But I know that that's not really the best thing for me. It's one thing to say it's fine to enjoy time at home and to be able to find other pursuits, things that you'll enjoy and be able to be on your own and that sort of thing. There's something to be said there, I think. But at the same time, it's also probably, not the healthiest thing to seek that out, right? Okay. It's good to go and do things in other places with other people, is my point. And I don't know that is there anyone really who's arguing against that? No, probably not. It's never a general argument, right? It's always in the abstract, everyone agrees with that, right? That it's good to go and do things and to do things with other people, right? It's always the day to day. It's like, oh, well, but do you need to go to this one? Do you need to go to this place? Do you need to go with those people today? That's where the argument can get insidious. Insidious is a fun word. I like that word. Also good is sinister, in kind of the same sort of mental sphere. Insidious, sinister. Fun to say. Anyway, yeah, so that's where it gets tricky, is that it's easy to justify, oh, well, I'm not saying that I will never go somewhere. I'm just saying I'm not going to go somewhere today. But it's easy for you to make that case every time, and before long you're not going anywhere or doing anything. So it's not that I'm necessarily, so basically I guess what I'm just saying is I'm celebrating yet another tiny victory of, yay, I went somewhere, I went to a place But also just as the reminder, the mental reminder that, well, yeah, I went to a place and it was good. It was fine. Like all of the potential arguments for why I wouldn't have dissolved into the nothing that they always were. And so I think it's important for myself to observe these moments and acknowledge them because they are what will help me to push past those nothings next time. So, because I'm kind of running late this morning, I've got to get ready for work. So I will talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.